Right, so we just finished watching Halloweentown, and I've got to say I quite enjoyed it. I won't lie. It's a pretty simple film. So I was doing some research on it, and I found that it was meant to have a $20 to $30 million budget, which is quite a lot for a live action Disney product at the time, but only got 4 million, which I was surprised to find out, because it actually, right, so pros and cons of this film. Pros are that it looks really good. The costumes and practical effects and all those are actually really good. I do enjoy practical effects, especially in the 80s and 90s. Because you had films like Jurassic Park that used practical effects. You had a lot of other horror movies and things like that used a lot of practical effects. No, this I think had really good practical effects. The cab driver, I can't remember his name. The skeleton guy, he, to be honest, looked really good. I don't know if they used CGI around his eyes though. I'm not sure. It had a bit of, whenever his eye sockets moved, it had a little bit of an uncanny valley feel to it. So I'm not sure if that was practical or they just CGI'd his eyes afterwards. But no, a lot of the costumes were good. The settings were really nice. The set pieces. When watching this, it felt like a Scooby-Doo episode. It had that sort of feel to it. Going back to the practical effects, the big bad guy, I like the look of him. I really like that look with the obvious. I mean, it's clearly CGI, with the robe that sort of like flew everywhere, and the sort of the mask that was like, it looked a bit like a scarecrow mask. It was like sewn together down the middle, and you see bits of straw poking out. I really like that. It was quite not inventive, but it added to the Scooby-Doo feel of it, of this film. I think the actors were good. You know, especially Debbie Reynolds. She was brilliant in the. She was really good in this. I think she was my favourite character. I won't lie. Because when she comes into the film, it's like the bus comes in and stops, and she like floats down with her umbrella. It gave me very Mary Poppins feels, like a very Mary Poppins vibe. And to be honest, I saw that and I thought, okay, this movie's it's gonna go the same way as Mary Poppins sort of thing, where it's like, you know, the grandmother comes in to help the kids and the mother, because their relationship is very unstable and rocky. So she's gonna come in and help them out over the Halloween, and then she's gonna go away, and that's it. But no, went in a very different direction. I thought she kind of just come in and help the family get together, like she does help build those bridges between the kids and the mother. But yeah, in a very non-Mary Poppins way. But no, on to the cons though of this film. The story, like I said, it's very Scooby-Doo, but I feel the story could have been a bit stronger. The, for example, the main villain is very easy to spot, like the second you see him. Like in Scooby Doo, you see the old guy come in. He's like, you know, old and curmudgeonly, and then you see someone else and be like, oh, it makes more sense to be the curmudgeonly old guy, and it's like, oh no, it was the other guy. But in this, it's like, oh no, it's that guy right from the start. You can tell, like, as soon as you see him, it's him. Which I felt was a bit. It could have been a bit stronger if we'd had a few more scenes with him. You know, getting to know, like, oh, this, like, good person that he is. But no, we see him like 2 scenes and then big bad guy. Yeah, I think that the story could have been a bit better as well. The pacing seemed a bit off at times. Yeah, pacing seemed a bit off at times, where it's like the mother comes to get her kids back, and then they all have to go and stop the bad guy, and then the grandmother and the mother get captured. And it's like, oh, well, the kids, like, left on their own. It's like, oh, what do we do? Well, our grandmother told us, like, before she got captured what we need to do. So you just do that. It's like, it felt a bit rushed here and there. They wanted to spend a few more it felt like there was a couple scenes that were cut out of the final film. Which I never like to see in any movie. I think that if those scenes, I don't like to see it in every movie. I mean, if especially if it's something to do with the character's development or progression of the story, like it explains a certain thing. Yeah, I think it definitely felt rushed in the last third of the film. Whether that was due to budgeting or some parts left on the cutting room floor, I'm not sure. I felt it, and saying that the characters themselves. Again, credit to the actors and actresses; they were really good in this. But the characters weren't really well written. Some of them weren't. I feel like the main character, Marnie, was a bit. What's the word? I felt she was a bit big-headed, I'd say. I think that's the best way I can describe her. Like in the start of the film, she's like, I like this stuff. I want to be a witch. I want to learn about this stuff. Mother's like, no. And then end of the film, she doesn't really change at all. She's like, oh well, I know I'm a witch. I want to learn this stuff. And the mother's like, okay, you can. Like the mother goes through a bit more development than her daughter, I think. Like again, there's a couple lines in the film which are said by the Marnie character, where they finally get the scepter to work. Because they have to get Merlin's scepter to work to fight the bad guy. And it's like they get it done. The first thing she says is, "I did it," even though it's her and her sister who did it, and her sister remembered all the words. to the spell that they needed to do in order to get it to work. So like the first thing you're saying, like, I did it, is like, it kind of took me away from the character a bit. It's like, well, I mean, you didn't. You helped. You know, she seemed a bit selfish, I think. The sister, again, absolutely brilliant. I've got nothing wrong to say about her. She's a really good character, really funny, like quite rather entertaining character. So when the kids sneak off to follow their grandmother back to Halloweentown, it's like you see the two older ones, the brother and the sister, like, sneaking onto the bus and getting there. It's like the bus pulls away, and the brother's like, "Oh God!" and the sister's in the background, and the sister's there behind the bus. The younger sister is like, "How did you get here?" "I followed you. You're not sneaky." Which I absolutely love that. It's like, yeah, that's brilliant, because kids are not stupid. You know, some kids are really intelligent, and that just shows why I strongly believe that. Yeah, she's and again with her remembering the words, like, how did you remember that? It's like, oh, I just sang them. It's like, yeah, that's quite good. It's actually fair enough, fair play for that. Yeah. So I've really got nothing wrong to say about her. The brother, on the other hand, oh boy, he's a bit of a smart ass. Because in the start, it's like, he's calling his sister weird for liking all you know, her grandmother gives her a hieroglyphic pendant, which is the Eye of Horus, and she goes, "Oh, hieroglyphs," and he's like, "Oh, you're weird." But yet he's like 5 minutes before that, he says, you know, "Give me a nature documentary or a documentary on something any day, and he'll watch it." It's like, see, that's kind of backwards, you know. Like throughout the film, he's constantly saying, like, "Oh, this is all a dream," or "Oh, this isn't real." You know, witches and things like that, and witches and warlocks don't exist. It's like, you're seeing it. You're in the middle of it. It does exist. You know, so I would have liked to see him sort of come to terms and accept that a bit more. For a budget of 4 million, I think they did a really good job with this, making a decent product with a less than stellar budget is always an accomplishment I like to see in film and TV and anything. Because it just shows that, you know, these people are dedicated. They want to do the best they can with what they're given. So I do respect them in that regard, and I do recommend this movie for anyone with kids. You know, put it on for them. It'll introduce them to sort of Halloween and give them a good look into some of the stuff that goes along with it. Out of 10, I would say it's from a purely enjoyment point of view, I would say a 7 to 8. 7 to 8, I'd say. If you just want to sit down, put on a movie, and just enjoy it.